painting at home with a file in hand, blinging up tipsy, got the sleuthing planned. Nails by Misty, I craft and I slay, with true crime tales while we polish all day. Charms, chrome killers and glue, DIY nails with a crime-loving crew.
Hey everyone, it's T. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you being here. We are going to make some press-ons, and I am starting with French tipped nails already. I've pulled out these. I've gotten everything I've gotten is PR from Born Pretty, so I'm going to be using that. I chose these two colors. They're going to be my base colors. And then this really, really fun one I just got. I'm so madly in love with it. It's called Hue Carnival. And then this is JN41. And this is JN25. This really pretty green. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a base of these jellies on these nails. I think I'm gonna do one hand one color and one hand the other color, just to switch it up. I usually do like a 2 and 3, but this time I'm just gonna do one hand's gonna be green, one hand's going to be like the really pretty tealy color. With these, what I like about it, being that it's a jelly and the French is already on the nail, I'm able to just go in, and these nails I have already gone and primed them. So I figured, you seen me prime them once, you don't need to see me prime them again. But look how fun that's gonna be as a French, right? So we're gonna put that in. They also self-level really nicely. So I think we're probably gonna stick with just one coat of the yellow and green, or I guess this is a green. One coat of each of these polishes, right? So we'll do one coat of the green, and then we will put a top coat. And I'm thinking of just possibly, we'll see how it goes, if I choose to do it or not. I might just put the dots on the French. I'm not sure. It just depends on the mood I'm in when I get to that point. But first things first, let's go ahead and get these in the lamp, get them cured so that we can do our second coat. I think I may have touched the side of that one. Nope, we're good. Just wanted to make sure. How is everyone doing? This is my first week back at work since like the end of November of last year. Honestly, they offered me the job way back on March 17th, but they didn't want me to start until April 13th because my new boss was going to be on vacation, out of the office, and it's just kind of silly to start when your boss isn't going to be there. There is something in the polish, so one sec. And I was fine with that because it gave me time to get the house ready, do all of that stuff, mentally prepare myself for getting back to work, because, you know, I would get up in the morning and watch TV for a while, make some content. You know, life was not super stressful, let's just put it that way. I mean, besides the fact that I didn't have a job, but I was getting unemployment, so it wasn't like I wasn't getting any money coming in. But just getting my head wrapped around being in the office 5 days a week, because even at my old job, I was only in the office 3 days a week. But if you knew me, I hated my old job. I was absolutely freaking miserable there. And it was one of those things where when you're at a company for so long, you just kind of get complacent and you're like, well, I guess I'll just retire here. And it wasn't because I was happy. That's not why I was staying. I was just staying because it was easier than like looking for a new job, anything like that. So with everything that happened, it worked out actually to be a blessing in disguise, because my new job is literally, people, I can't even tell you how close it is to my house. It is 2.3 miles from my house. I mean, how fun is that? I don't have to do like a crazy drive to work, none of that. So it just makes life not so stressful, and I'm not worried about going in the office when the office is truly, it takes me 5 minutes to get to work. Like today I was at the office and it was getting colder and I'm like, ooh, and the blouse I wore, yes, it was a nice blouse and it has a lining and everything, but I was a little chilly. My hands were starting to get cold. So I ran home at lunch, was able to grab my sweater, grab a couple other things I wanted for my desk, go through the Taco Bell drive-thru because I was craving Taco Bell. I don't know why. I have been craving Taco Bell for a few days. Went through the drive-thru and was still able to get back to the office and everything in like less than 30 minutes. Was able to chill out in my car. I ate my lunch in my car because it was raining and I didn't want to like deal with the rain. And still got back in the office with plenty of time. So I am loving that. Let me tell you, loving it. Okay, so, ooh, what is that? Let's get that off the nails, shall we? The heck? That is a hell of a fuzzy. So, we're just going to put one coat of this color as well on the nail. Now this one is definitely a darker color than our green on our other hand, but I still think they'll be really fun together. So I just want to make sure I put it on nice and even. Let it give it a sec so it can self-level, because with this one you can definitely see it a little bit more. If you don't let it level, you're going to be able to see those streaks in it, and that is not what we want. Let's take a little of this off. And I don't want too much on. I don't want it to be too heavy, but I do want it to give the color or the nail a nice base color. So we're just gonna kind of go through this. Give it a second to level out. So, because I don't want, do you see how we can kind of see a little bit of streaking? That is not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go over this one more time. It is much easier with the lighter green that I used because it's such a light color that it levels out nicely and you really don't see any streaks. But this will level for you. You just need to give it a second. So we're going to let that sit for 1 second. Oh, I don't like that though. Look at that. And I'm like, okay, let's do this one more time. But like I said, I am loving my new job. I love how close it is to work. It's a new industry that I've never been in, so I'm excited about learning about that. And just excited for taking on some new challenges. Things that will help not only the company right away, because it is a smaller company than my prior job. And in my prior job, let's be honest, it's like when you work for a huge corporation, sometimes it's very difficult to see the impact you might be making. Not only is it hard for you to see that, but it's hard for the people that you work with to see it as well. I've had, it's been one of those things where I'm just like, okay, well, working my ass off and doing all this stuff, and literally nobody really freaking knows what you're doing or cares to find out. Sometimes those big corporations, they move managers around so often that they literally don't have any idea what you do. until you leave. And then they go, oh shit, that person did a lot of stuff, kept a lot of balls in the air, and nobody knew it. It's because when you do that well, people just assume it's gonna, you know, hey, it's gonna be taken care of, it's gonna be fine. I am not 100% positive about this polish on this, with what I wanna do, because I feel like this one is gonna need a second coat, so we're gonna have to put a second coat on that one as well. That's all right, we can do it. We can do a second coat, it's not the end of the world. And the polish I'm going to put on top of these is so cute. It's my latest PR. I just got it and I was like, I must use this. I must use it in a set of nails because it's just so damn fun. Okay, so in the lamp it goes. Let's grab our thumb out. The magnets on these stands from Tamra, the Devil Wears press-ons, are insane. They're so good. I was not wanting to do a second coat because I still want that French to come through. And I want you to be able to see it. So this second coat, I'm going to try to make as thin as possible. So we get the color and it levels, but we can still see that French because that is the main point of this set. Using those French tips, I thought it would be a lot of fun to do that. Second coat on this one. And we will do a second coat of that green now because we did a second coat on these. So I want them to have like the same sort of vibrancy with the polishes and the same like color saturation, shall we say. So I don't know what my mom is watching in the living room, but it sounds interesting. She was watching when I first got home from work. Like, I think it's the latest Terminator, the one with the chick in it. She was watching that when I first got home from work. I'm not sure what she's watching now, but it's got like Bad to the Bone playing in it. So that's kind of funny. The song Bad to the Bone. It's one of those songs that as soon as you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I know this. Ooh, that was a little thick. Okay, that was a little thick. We didn't need to put it on that heavy. Alrighty. Love these colors though. I am all about jelly polishes. I love a beautiful jelly. Syrup polishes are my favorite. There is something in this one right here though. Let's get that off the nail. This is about the longest I go with a press-on. If I am wearing a nail that I'm using gel glue to adhere it to my nail, those I tend to go longer in. As you've known, I can wear some seriously long nails. But with the press-ons, I just feel like it's smarter to go a little bit shorter. All right, so thumb. Ring finger. Now I'm pointing these are actually the wrong way on this stand. Tamara's stands all actually angled down, but I like to do them when I'm doing something like this. I like to have the one hand point in one direction and the other hand pointed in the opposite direction. It just makes it easier. At least I feel like it makes it easier. Okay. Has anyone seen any good new true crime? Ooh, there's something in that one too. Any new true crime lately that I need to make sure not to miss? I watched that False Prophet on Netflix, and oh my God, that was crazy. Stacy from Fifi's Faffing Nails was like, oh my gosh, guess what's coming out? And I'm like, no way. I probably didn't say it that way, and she probably didn't say it that way, but you know what I'm saying. She turned me on to it, and I was like, this show is, okay, why don't you like drop it and get stuff in it, Teresa? It was crazy, like crazy. It was about the FLDS, Fundamental Latter-day Saints, so like the LDS, but like hardcore LDS. And it was, first of all, it was very interesting to watch. I actually did not know about this guy, their prophet, Samuel. Now, the prior prophet had been arrested, and he was down in Texas for, let's just put it this way, he had child brides. Not okay. But I had not heard about this guy, and it was just, when you watch it, I don't want to like tell you anything because I don't want to like ruin it, so I'm not trying to do any spoilers for people. Oh, well, that looks like crap. This doesn't look like it cured all the way on one side. Interesting. That side of the nail, for some reason, did not cure all the way. I must not have had it close enough in the lamp. It's the only thing I can think of. And now that looks like crud. And if I try to, yeah, see, if I try to do too much, it's going to look really bad. So we're just going to try to be very careful with this nail. Now, granted, it is going to get something on top of it, so thankfully that will help with that a little bit. I don't know why that didn't cure all the way. Very, very interesting. Okay, we'll let that one cure, and while that's curing, let's put the lid on this, and we will do our second coat of the green, which is still, you're really going to be able to see the French because it is so transparent and it's such a pretty jelly. This screams summertime to me. It just does. Okay, I want to make sure I got the whole nail covered evenly. This is such a pretty color. That green is just like, ooh, something else. Okay. So we're gonna let that one that didn't cure all the way before sit in the lamp a little longer, because now I'm like, what the hell? Why did that one nail not cure all the way? I'm glad actually I'm putting a second coat on the nails because it really is like a fun green. I think the two look really fun next to each other too. All right, so let's take this one out. That is cured all the way now, we hope. I would try to put gloves on, and I really should have gloves on, so don't be like me, wear your gloves. Trying to put a pair of gloves on over the nails I currently have on was an exercise in futility because I tried. Yeah, it was just with all of these flowers on the nail, I could not get them on at all. So we're just trying to be very, very careful and not get anything on our skin, because I could not get those gloves on. It was silly how hard it was. I was trying, trust me, I was really trying, but yeah, nothing was happening. They kept getting stuck on the flowers so bad it was ridiculous, but I love the flowers. I love these roses. I use them all the time on summertime nails. I don't use them so much in the wintertime, to be truthful with you. It's not like I couldn't, but for some reason I just always seem to do them on like spring and summer nails. Okay, love that. Love it, love it, love it. Let's move this over here so we make sure everything gets cured. Don't want to have the same problem we had on the other hand with one of these nails. So let's push these back in the lamp all the way. I'm going to put the lid on here so I don't spill, but we can see what we've got going so far. So this is what we are working with so far. So that crazy green, that really pretty teal. So let's get this one out and let that last one cure all the way so we don't have that issue. Okay, I'm going to use this now. And first I'm going to just kind of put it on the end and see what that looks like. And maybe we put it on the whole nail. I'm not sure. But we're going to start with this green one here. It does have a little bit of a milky base to it. So it is going to lighten up whatever you're putting it on. But I figure if I only do one coat, you're really not going to notice. But I want to make sure that I have enough of the glitter, the circle glitter, on the tip of the nail where the French is. So we will probably pull out one of our liner brushes so that we can kind of move these around a little bit and zhuzh them some. So which one? Oh, that's way too long. I want a like shorter one. That'll work. So that when I go to do this, I can move them around a little easier. Now, when we go to top coat these, we are going to use a top coat that is a thicker top coat so that you won't notice that this is only on the French part of the nail. But look at how cute they are. Let's bring this one back here a little bit, I think. I just kind of want it random. I don't want anything like super uniform. It's not what I'm going for. And again, I only want it on the French line. Thankfully, with this, you're really not going to notice because of how translucent and transparent the colors are. I'm going to hold it upside down for 1 second, kind of let it pull away from the sidewalls, go more towards the middle, and in the lamp it goes. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing on all 10 nails. Kind of put it around, make sure we get multiple colors. This one has a really big red circle, which is awesome. I just think that's so cute. I love all the different sizes. It's got white and blue, and there's some more red under there. Oh, It's raining like cats and dogs outside, as they say. Okay, now I may want to try to get another, let's get one of these blue ones and put it like right there. Felt like I kind of needed another big piece of glitter. We're going to take some of these little red pieces and put it on the next nail because I don't want as many. So it's just kind of a matter of figuring out where I want all the little dots. And not putting too much of the color on because we don't want it to mute the green too much. But we do want it to flow nicely. So I'm just trying to spread some of these out a little bit without putting too much polish on, because I don't want the ends to be all funky. So I'm just letting it sit just a smudge. Not very long. I say I'm letting it sit and then I keep playing with it. When we do go to top coat these, we are going to use our super thick top coat so that you will not notice that it's not perfectly on the French. Maybe this red one over here a little bit. Okay, upside down. It just pulls it away from the side walls just a little bit. I'm going to continue doing this on all the nails and we will be back in just 1 second. Okay, so we are back and this is where we are sitting. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give each one of these a coat of the Crazy Top Standard. It is not as thick, obviously, as if we were using the, oops, hold on, sorry. Let me get this. It's not as thick as if we were using the Crazy Top Thick, but it should give us a nice cover. Just making sure. This brush seems to have something in it. So let me grab a different brush. 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to give each one of these a coat. What I'm going to do after that is give them a quick buff. But I want to protect everything underneath first with a nice layer of a thicker top coat. Now we're not doing, like I said, the Crazy Top Thick. That's a little too thick, I think, for at least this design. I use that, I feel like, more when I've got like really crazy chunky glitter. This is going to give it a nice top, not too thick. We can give that a buff. There's something in that right there though. Then we can give it a buff once we get whatever the hell that is off of it. Give it a nice buff. And then, what the hell? I think there's still something there. Is it just me? Am I losing my mind? Which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. It could absolutely just be me, but I feel like there's something still on that nail. I can't see it though. All right, we're gonna hold it upside down. And then, I don't know, I feel like there's still something on here. Like right there. Oh, there is. I wasn't crazy. I mean, any crazier than normal, let's just put it that way. I am actually going to take this, put it in some alcohol, and go over this nail because there is something stuck there I cannot get to come off. Okay. We might, you know what? I think I'm actually going to switch it up and use a different top coat on these. So I'm just cleaning that brush just a little. Ooh, I thought I got some on the side. Okay. We're going to use a different one. I'm going to go to the one I use when I am doing like practice nails and things like that because we're going to buff it. Why waste the crazy top on a nail where you're just going to kind of buff it out? So by doing this, I'm not wasting that really expensive product. It's 40 bucks for that crazy top you just saw me playing with. And we do not want to waste it at all. Okay, in the lamp. So we're just gonna keep going through all of these, putting a top coat on. And this top coat, I don't even know what brand this is, I'll be honest, because I refill the bottle, so it is most definitely not ENC, I can guarantee you that. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's, oh, I can't remember now. I'll have to look at the bottle. I need to get myself some top coat from Born Pretty, which is kind of funny that I don't have any Born Pretty top coat, considering all the other products by Born Pretty I have. But I need to get a Born Pretty top coat and see how that works. I love top coats. I'm a huge fan of like checking out different top coats, seeing how they hold up. My favorite for nails that does not yellow is the Vinalisa. So after we buff this, we will be doing a top of Vinalisa on it, just so that it doesn't yellow on us. Not a fan of anything that like starts to turn yellow when you've had it on for a while. So I do want to make sure that these only get like a 30-second cure though. So, well, if I was only going to go straight in with the Vinalisa, I would do 30 seconds only. But being that I'm going to give them a buff and then go in with the Vinalisa, I think we'll be okay. Some top coats are so shiny that when they cure, the Vinalisa won't stick to them. And Vinalisa usually sticks pretty well, I would say, to most of them. But there are some I have that are so shiny that, yeah, it starts to puddle, and I hate that. I'm sure like no one likes it, but yeah, I don't like it when it starts to puddle. But this is going to make it a little smoother for us, protect that glitter when we go to buff. Because we don't want to buff any of our glitter off. Make sure I've got the sidewalls. I'm famous for missing my sidewalls. And just keep going. I will probably edit some of this out, to be honest with you. If I'm leaving it in, you'll hear me saying that, but I may edit some of this out because it's kind of repetitive. I mean, you're just watching me put top coat on, right? So you want to try to make it as even as possible. Okay. So let's take our pinky out. Take our ring finger out. And switch them up. Now, if I decided when I go to put these on that I want to kind of mix and match, I can flip-flop the pointer finger, the pinky, and the middle finger. Those are all three the same. And in this set, we could do the thumb as well. The only one we cannot do is the ring finger, because my ring finger has decidedly different sizes. The right hand is always 2 sizes larger than my left hand. So we could mix and match these, and when I go to take pictures, I'll probably do them both ways. We could do like flip-flop our thumbs and our pinkies if we wanted to, and the middle finger. So it would be like every other. We could do the pointer finger and the pinky. See what that looks like. So it does give me a little bit of versatility with this set. It can look like multiple things. Let's just put it that way. So it doesn't need to stay exactly how it is. This one has a lot of little red speckles, red and orange, compared to the other nails. Let's get some of these out. So let's take our thumbnail and our pointer finger. Okay. It has been a tough week for me. Last week was really tough. I had to put down my little dog Christmas because she had cancer really bad, and that was awful. This week, I woke up Monday morning to my 23-year-old cat had passed away. So yeah, my animals have been definitely making it a little tougher on me lately. All right, just gonna get out just a buffer, nothing crazy. I don't want to do too much, but I do want to give it a little buff so that it smooths it out some. It's not going to be perfectly smooth, because to do that I would really have to get in and do a lot of buffing where we put all of those dots, and I don't want to lose my dots. So I'm just giving it a little buff. Okay. Mainly it's going to be around our French line that we have, because that's kind of where I stopped with the color that we put on. That Carnival, I only wanted it on the French tips. So we will be doing a little bit more around that French tip line to try to smooth it out just a smudge. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it will be better than if we did not do this step, because you can really see it on some of these. This is a 180, I think, this buffer that I'm using. And it's not a new one because like I said, I don't want to do like crazy amounts, because I still want it to not get into where the glitter is. I don't want it to buff that glitter. I just want to make it a little smoother. So I'm going to continue doing this, and once we've got this all buffed, we will come back and put our final top coat. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. I have given them all a little bit of a buff. As you can see, none of them are shiny anymore. I'm going to grab my Venalisa, like I said, which is my favorite to make sure that things do not yellow. Give it a nice top coat. It's not crazy thick, but it also is not super thin. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a nice viscosity. And in the lamp we go. We're going to let that cure for 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Sorry, needed to hit the right button on the lamp. Once that cures for 90 seconds, I will let everyone see what these look like. So we'll be back in 1 second. Alrighty, so this is our last nail to top coat. Take out some of these other ones that have been in there for the full 90 seconds already. Just trying to give it a nice even coat. Make sure I get my sidewalls. Nothing too thick. Those last two, while those last two are curing all the way, let's straighten this up so that we can look at these. Okay, so let's take this one out. Again, we used the JN25, so that crazy green, and then JN41, that really pretty teal. And then we did on the thumb, on the tips only, so on our French tips, we did the Hue Carnival TS30. So hopefully, come on. There we go. And here is our last nail. I friggin' love them. I just think they're so fun. Very different than like nails I have done before. And like I was saying, we can, if we want to, we could put this thumb here and this thumb here. Let's turn them around the right way at least. We could switch the thumbs. We could switch our middle fingers because those are all the same size. So if we wanted to, we could do an every other with this set, which when I see it this way, oh my God, I love it. I might have to wear them this way. Look at how cute that is. Ah, I love that. I might have to switch them up. Now that I'm looking at them like this, I might have to do an every other with these. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. I had fun making this set. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments, do you like this? Would you wear these nails? I just think they're fun and different. So with that, I want to wish you all peace, love, and joy. Bye.
Fixing colors, designs on the go. In a world where mystery